Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. 3 men fatally shot by police in St. Thomas. Security expert questions government's response to mass shooting in Clarendon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. 3 men were shot and killed by police in St. Thomas Thursday morning, while the search is on for 3 others who escaped during an alleged gun battle with their officers. It's understood the men had their eyes set on robbing a popular liquor store in the parish. Kalisha Williams reports.
According to the owner of the liquor store in Poor Man's Corner, St. Thomas, he received a call from a resident that his establishment was open. He arrived to an active crime scene sometime around 4 a.m. and says he was prevented from going inside. Head of the Area 5 Police Division, SSP Christopher Phillips, says one of the robbers was fatally shot on location. The others were tracked to Grant Spen in the parish. He says on seeing the lawmen, they opened fire and a shootout ensued.
At the end of that shooting, 2 men were found suffering from gunshot wound. A 9mm pistol with 1 magazine and 5 live rounds was taken from that scene. Those men were rushed to the hospital where they were later pronounced dead by the doctor on duty. What I can say so far is that these men seems not to be from this area. What we're picking up, they might be from the Kingston Western Division.
He says the other suspects are on the run and a manhunt is underway.
I'm going to issue a warning to criminals moving into St. Thomas. It is not going to be business as usual because we're not going to let up this side. I want to just encourage and reassure the citizens within these parts, that you have the full support of the police here. Commander Byfield and the team, they are working very hard to keep you safe, and I have all confidence that they will continue to do so.
Indicom is investigating the incident.
They are proceeding, I think, smoothly with it, because they are saying, based on our information, they are getting the support and they are getting statements from residents who witnessed the incident. So we cannot do anything about that part of the investigation. That's Indicom. But what the police is pursuing, the investigation, as made by the police of being attacked by the person that was it. The injured man is in hospital, he remains in hospital, and we will have a question and answer session with him later when he's released.
Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
In the meantime, head of the St. Thomas Police Superintendent Alison Byfield says the taximan who was involved in the altercation with a policeman at the Eastern Bus Terminus on Monday remains in hospital. According to reports, the taximan was resisting arrest and allegedly physically assaulted the police who shot him. The matter is being investigated by Indicom. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Strang says plans are well advanced to introduce a new Corrections Act in the next legislative year. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, Dr. Chang says the proposed legislation seeks to address long-standing challenges within the correctional system.
The new correction is in the drafting stage. We have, in fact, put on the table, of course, the new corrections policy, which provides the framework for the development of new legislation. It's something that we expect it will not conclude in this parliament year, but in the next parliament year, we should be able to bring the new corrections out. Important in ensuring we have the required legislative framework to manage effectively the individuals incarcerated in jail. But also add that it is not that it's not without control. We, in fact, monitor the activities of these prisoners, not only by investigating and removing contraband from the prison, but the police monitors carefully. That's why some of the intelligence, without going into details, are able to identify beforehand, intercept, and sometimes save the lives of some of the very criminals who are involved.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on the People's National Party to join forces with the government to tackle the escalating crime and violence plaguing the country. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, Mr. Holness emphasized the need for genuine collaboration.
I understand the positions of persons who may oppose the positions that I hold. The curious thing is that when roles are changed, then those persons who oppose the position I hold now adopt the position. So it says that sometimes the positions that are held are more strategic than genuine. And I think what Jamaica needs now is genuine partnership, not strategic partnerships for political advantage.
On the heels of Sunday's mass shooting in Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon, opposition leader Mark Golding said he was prepared to meet with the Prime Minister to discuss a bipartisan solution to crime. Both leaders say they are mindful of the impact of crime on communities.
But remember the nature of our democracy. We keep saying we have this strong and robust democracy, but not understanding what it means. That yes, even the opposition has a role, and our constitution gives them power. No one is holding them to account as to how they use the power that they have in the constitution.
Concerns are being raised about the government's response to the recent mass shooting in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon. One crime expert believes the primary focus should be on the root causes of violence in the community. The details in this report.
On Wednesday, the government announced the establishment of a $25 million reward fund for information into the Cherry Tree Lane mass shooting on Sunday night. The incident claimed the lives of 8 people and injured 11 others. But senior crime investigator and security expert Robert Finzi-Smith, while acknowledging the severity of the situation, questions the effectiveness of the measures. This includes the declaration of a state of public emergency for the entire parish and the fund for cash rewards.
I think the money would be better spent in improving the infrastructure within the affected area. Road, light, cameras, that type of situation. Because you're not going to be easy to hide it in that community if you become the recipient of some of the rewards. So that I think is going to make people a little hesitant. So I see the attempt, but I was born skeptical, so forgive me.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has defended the government's fund, stating that it is part of a broader strategy to dismantle gangs and encourage information sharing. However, Mr. Finzi-Smith is questioning the source of the funds.
My other problem is, what is the source of the fund? I hear that it is now ensconced in the Minister of National Security. Where did the funds come from? And if you had this, why did you in the past not administer that amount of money to preventative measures rather than trying to elicit cures? Been having problems collecting their overtime, but you are 25 million sitting down on. You understand the back blast of that? I am a little worried that it will be regarded as a PR stunt.
As the government moves forward with its plan, it remains to be seen whether the investment will yield the desired results and bring lasting peace to the troubled parish of Clarendon. Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Montego Bay Mayor Richard Vernon is urging young people in St. James to avoid gang violence and focus on their education. Speaking at a function in the parish recently, Mayor Vernon highlighted the importance of scholarships as a tool for motivating young people.
Don't be lazy about your future. Apply for a scholarship. Access education. The institutions are there. We have some of the best. 65% of you have a responsibility to safeguard the future of Jamaica. You are the future. And 65% is a large cross-section of our country. We cannot fail. We cannot succumb to a Jamaica that looks like what happened yesterday.
He says education offers a path for prosperity. The mayor says a challenging environment does not have to dictate the outcome of one's life.
People are willing to support. What is your excuse? Join a gang because you grew up poor? That's your excuse? Join a gang because daddy told you not to do it and you develop strain? Mommy told you not to do it? Join a gang because they killed your brother and you want to create more debt? You want to create mass murder? Join a gang because you don't love your country. That is what is happening.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Jamaicans spent less on imports from the Caribbean region for the first 3 months of this year. The International Merchandise Trade Report released by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica says spending on imports from the region fell by 17.7% to $96.2 million between January and March 2024. In the comparative period ended March 2023, expenditure on imports total $116.9 million. Statin says this was linked to lower imports in the categories food and mineral fuels. Spending on food imports fell by 6.4% to $43.3 million. Expenditure on mineral fuels total $18.8 million, a 47.1% drop from the $35.5 million spent in the 3 months ended March 2023. Further afield, Walmart Incorporation reported quarterly earnings of $4.5 billion ending July 31. This is a decline from $7.9 billion in the same period last year. But adjusted earnings per share exceeded expectations, coming in at 67 cents, 2 cents higher than Wall Street's forecast. Walmart's quarterly report provides valuable insight into American consumer spending habits and economic confidence. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Raquel Porto.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, a shootout between police and alleged robbers in Trinidad and Tobago left 6 people dead, including a woman. The suspects were linked to 2 home robberies within a 12-hour period. When cornered by police, the suspects allegedly opened fire, prompting officers to return fire, resulting in the fatalities. Only one of the deceased men has been identified so far. On the international scene, tropical storm Ernesto, likely to become a major hurricane, is approaching Bermuda and is expected to reach it by Saturday as a Category 2 storm. Currently, it has 70 miles per hour winds and is causing heavy rains in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands since Wednesday morning. A tropical storm warning is in effect for these countries. Bermuda residents are advised to prepare urgently as Ernesto's impact could be severe and additional rainfall from an unrelated weather front may complicate preparations. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Lakinsky Robinson.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report with Renardo.